So, good morning everyone. I am Rick Lawrence D. Perez, SIT second year student. So, I will going to present to you our laboratory titled Mini System Integration from Data to Functionality. So, first is I'm going to describe the components of every class. So, the student class represents the structure of data being shared. It contains the attributes of the ID for the student ID, the name for the student's full name, and the course for the student's course. It acts as a data container that both subsystems use. So second is the subsystem A or the data provider. The subsystem A contains the method get student data that generates and provide a list of students object, and also it is responsible for data creation and management. The subsystem A also encapsulates the source of truth for the system's data. So the last one is the subsystem B or the consumer or display. The subsystem B calls subsystems A method to retrieve students' data. It displays the information in a table format, and also it is responsible for consuming and presenting data to users. So why did I choose functional integration? First is it is direct method access. The subsystem B calls get student data from subsystem A to retrieve student records, demonstrating a clear function-to-function interaction. Second is the separation of concerns. The subsystem A handles data creation and storage, while subsystem B focuses on displaying data, keeping responsibilities modular. Third is the reusability. Other subsystems could also call get student data method without rewriting the data logic. Last is the minimal data transformation needed. The data is already in usable project format like the student class, reducing the complexity of integration compared to data integration or presentation integration. So that's why I chose functional integration. So let's explain the code. So in the line 2, this int ID, it stores the student's ID number. Also the string name, it stores the names of the student. String course, it stores the course of every student. So in line 7, this that ID is equal to ID. It assigns the value passed into the constructor to the student's ID attribute. Also the this dot name for the student's name attribute, and also the this dot course for the course attribute. So let's go to the subsystem A. In this line of code, the line 5, the array list is less than to student is greater than get student data. In this line, it defines a method called get student data. So the array list student, this method will give back a list of student objects. So in line 6, it creates a new array list called students. And in this line, it adds new student objects to the students list. Each student has three pieces of information: the ID, the name, and the course. And the return students. It returns the students list so other parts of the program can use it. So let's go to the subsystem B. So in the line 7, it simply prints the subsystem B displaying student data. And in the line 8, line 9, the array list student, it calls the method get student data from subsystem A to retrieve the list of the student. So in this part, line 11 and 12, it simply prints a table with a header row, ID, name, and course. So in the line 14, we use the for loop to iterate over every student objects in the student list. The student S represents the current student in each iteration. So in the line 15, the student that out print it prints each student ID, name, and course in a tabular format like ID, name, and course. So let's run the program and see the result. So as you see, the subsystem B displays the file that ano, we saved in the subsystem A, and the subsystem B calls it, and it displays it like this in tabular form. So we see the student's ID, the name, and the student course. So this mini system integration experiment demonstrates the fundamental principles of functional integration, which are widely applicable in real-world software systems. So we can use it in school information system. So we can name the subsystem A as, for example, a enrollment or student database. The subsystem B, the grade reporting or the academic dashboard. Functional integration allows the dashboard to directly fetch student records without duplicating data storage, ensuring accurate and up-to-date information. So overall, working on this program helped me understand how different parts of a program works together. I learned that the student class stores information about each student, the subsystem A provides the data, and the subsystem B shows it on the screen. Separating tasks like this makes the program easier to understand and use. And I also learned how important it is to organize your code and think carefully about how data moves between parts. And this project made me more confident in creating programs that are clear and organized. So that's all. Once again, I am Rick Lawrence T. Perez. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.